So since I've been forced to play the Recon class again in order to actually use the sniper, I wanted to give you some tips to play the class to the best of its abilities. Plus, I wanted to give you my best sniper loadouts that I've been using so far. So if this video helps you, please leave a like and subscribe for more Battlefield 6 guides in future. So first, let's talk sniper rifles. There is only 3 in this game, which is honestly a little disappointing, but they all have different sweet spot ranges. A sweet spot is an upper chest shot that will one-shot kill as long as you are at the correct range for that rifle. The sweet spot range for the SV98 is around 70 to 90 meters. That means you'll want to use the SV98 for close to medium range maps, meaning Empire State, Manhattan Bridge, Iberian Offensive, or Siege of Cairo. The best build for this sniper I've found so far is either the 3x or 4x scope for closer ranges, but at a maximum switch to the 6x for the maps I've recommended. Take the straight pull bolt for rechambering whilst aiming down sight, the hipfire laser for a closer range advantage, any grip that improves the ADS speed, and then the long range rounds to lower bullet drop. We always use the extended barrel. On this gun, I don't take the target laser as you shouldn't need it for the ranges required. Simply aim at the top of the head anywhere within 150 meters and it shouldn't need zeroing. The sweet spot range for the M2010 ESR is around 80 to 100 meters. The ESR is perfect for medium to long range maps, such as Liberation Peak, Sobek City, and Mirak Valley. I would only use the 6x scope or maybe the 8x scope for this rifle for the longer ranges, and I do take an extended magazine for this rifle to bring it up to the capacity of the other snipers. Of course, extended barrel once again, and always take a grip that adds ADS speed on every sniper, straight pull bolt again for ADS shots, and don't forget those long range rounds. Lastly, the sweet spot range for the PSR is greater than 100 meters. It's likely around 120 to 150 meters. This works best on long range maps like Mirak Valley and Operation Firestorm. I would focus on the 8x or 10x scopes here. Personally, I take the straight pull bolt, but you can take the suppressor instead. Always take the rangefinder as you're mostly only going for long range, but this time you need to pick the 7 round mag instead of the default 10 if you want it to match the ADS speed of the other snipers. In the end, they all have the exact same aim down sight speed. Something to remember for all the snipers is that there's a bug right now where it will reset some of your sniper attachments every time you play a new map. So make sure you check your builds before each round. Technically, at this time, the M2010 is the best sniper overall, and if you want to get used to using one sniper at all ranges, this is the one that you want to use for the best all-round experience. Fastest rounds per minute, and the fastest maximum bullet velocity. Remember, in this game compared to Battlefield 1, it must be an upper chest shot only to count as a sweet spot, so aim higher on the body if you want to guarantee that one shot. Now for game modes, historically I have always preferred Breakthrough and Rush for sniping and playing solo. These are the best modes to play to guarantee slightly more consistent enemy positions and less random deaths from vehicles or flanks, with more infantry. Breakthrough specifically is a great mode to get used to playing at longer ranges. When using snipers, you should never be out in the open with no cover, and breakthrough maps are usually densely covered with assets. Always be sniping close to something you can hide behind, hopefully something that partially covers your character so you're a smaller target to hit. Just like previous Battlefield games, the best way to use a sniper is to constantly move around a little until you're ready to fire the gun. Make yourself a hard target by at least strafing left and right at all times, and also potentially bait shots from other snipers. When you spot a target, center your screen as close to them as possible before scoping in, and then scope in so you don't have to adjust as much. Only stop moving completely when you are ready to take the shot, and use the whole breath mechanic only 1 second before you fire. If they're moving, aim for the body. If they're stationary, aim for the head. It's a classic. And now for the close range. Since the beta, switching to your pistol from the sniper is now as fast as it was in previous games, and you can switch and shoot instantly like you expect. But in Battlefield 6, you should almost never try to take a fight at close range, similar to Battlefield 5. This might be obvious to some, but you actually had a chance in Battlefield 1 and 2042 with how powerful some of the pistols were. In terms of trying to snipe at close range, no sniper one-shots to the chest at close range at all. And time to kill is so fast in this game, you'll be dead before you can even scope in most cases. Not to mention that unfortunately, all secondaries are weak in this game until you unlock the M44 revolver reaching level 48. You have absolutely no chance of beating any of the automatic weapons in this game with the first 3 pistols that you unlock, unless you somehow catch them off guard. The only pistol worth using statistically is the first one that you have available at level 1, which is the P18. And my biggest piece of advice for using pistols in almost every Battlefield is always try and hipfire over aiming down sight. The only advantage you get from using a pistol versus an automatic weapon is that base hipfire spread is significantly smaller. Plus, you're able to move much faster, making yourself harder to hit. You should only aim down sight with the pistol against enemies that haven't seen you yet or anyone over 15 meters away. Always build pistols for minimum hipfire spread, so lasers and short barrels, and make sure to add a sight and extended mags once you unlock them. Once you do hit rank 48, this is when things change. The M44 revolver can consistently beat enemies at close range with its 2-shot body shot kill and 1-shot headshot as long as you're accurate. Just don't expect to take on more than one at a time with that 6-round capacity. But in most cases, at close range, your best option is to get away from the enemy pushing you and reposition to be at longer ranges again. Luckily for you, they have seemingly improved the range of the TUG's motion sensor as well. This is now an amazing tool for map awareness. Put your TUGs in the center of an area that you want to control, but close to a wall or behind cover. Objectives make the most sense, but inside buildings are best. Now, when enemies are pushing into your building or area, they'll show up on your minimap, and if you're able to keep an eye on it, you can either avoid or engage them without them even being aware of it. This motion sensor also regenerates very quickly without having to resupply, and they can be used multiple times in one life, but only one at a time. Whenever you find yourself forced into cover or recovering health and not able to peek out and do something, look at what gadgets you have available, what grenades you have. More often than not, the motion sensor will be available to use again, and you might as well pop it down and gain vital information for you and your team. Next, let's talk explosives. When I play Recon, I take the C4 and Claymore as gadgets. The Claymore is actually near impossible to see in this game compared to previous titles, and as long as you place it very close to the side of the door, most enemies will never see it, and it's a one-shot in most cases. Block your exits and flanking routes with them to at least get an early warning before they push, and if they do happen to see it, they'll at least have to reconsider how they're going to get to you. But then we have the most powerful gadget on the Recon class in my opinion, the C4 explosive. Anti-vehicle, anti-infantry, and of course, anti-building. Put down the tugs and see enemies on the other side, blow up the wall, crush them with the rubble. If the wall's short enough, throw a couple over the wall or on objectives and get easy kills. Use your tugs to watch your enemies on the minimap and blow up a C4 as they run over it. Just keep in mind that the explosive range of the C4 is much smaller than previous titles, but they can still one-shot if you hit them directly standing up. However, if they're prone, they take reduced explosive damage and it won't one-shot. I also take the frag grenade and the Claymore, so I have multiple options to delay enemies chasing me down. Throw grenades and Claymores down in your path when running away to slow down aggressive opponents, as they'll likely push when they see that you're a Recon with limited close range options. As for the training path, I will always use the sniper package over the Spec Ops offerings due to the massive bonuses to spotting and those brutal unrevivable headshots. And don't forget to use the UAV active ability. I honestly barely use it because I rarely notice that I have it available, but it's best to use it over active objectives for a massive minimap spotting area. The icon should flash green and give you the correct button to press to use it. And then lastly, whilst moving around the battlefield, I always take the knife, as this massively increases your speed getting from cover to cover. Running with your sniper out rarely results in instantly spotting and sniping enemies in the distance. Always plan to run to and from positions that you intend to snipe from, as opposed to just trying to survive out in the open. Right now, this is my favorite setup for the Recon class, and I don't use many of the other spotting devices unless I have a challenge, as I want to be a bit more active in my gameplay. These are just basic tips to get started with the Recon class with a sniper. At some point, I'll make an extensive guide to sniping in Battlefield 6, so make sure you're subscribed and you can be ready to watch my full sniping guide. Thanks for watching, give it a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.